I don't know where I've put my hat.
There it is.
It's bloody chilly in here today, being December. Let's look at some very early Chaos miniatures, shall we? Warhammer 40,000 Rogue Trader, or in this case, maybe not.
Likes!
So back in the mid to late 1980s, the Chaos sourcebooks came out. Slaves to Darkness and Lost and The Damned. And around then, everybody was getting in on some Chaos action. There were loads of new Chaos miniatures released and lots of exciting new paint schemes coming out of the studio. So let's take a little look at some of them. First up, a wide range of armour effects and styles for this group of Chaos warriors. So this is a lovely warband of Chaos put together from what I assume are individual miniatures. I really like the skeleton chap on the left, or maybe the one with the big helmet in the middle. Subtle naturalistic colours suit this Beastman of Slaanesh. And you don't see many Beastmen at Slaanesh, and to be honest, this might be the only one I've ever seen. I love how he has graffiti on his horns, but what does it say? Turn and hate? One definitely says hate. A cornate Chaos warrior adorned with businesslike Chaos armour. I don't know what they mean by businesslike, but you have to love the old Chaos warrior sculpts. This one has an awesome two-handed sword, and is that what they call a bastard sword? Why is it even called a bastard sword anyway? A traditional armour technique is applied here. Now, I don't know if it's my age or my eyes when it comes to this picture, but I can't tell if this is gold or beige armour. Whatever it is, it contrasts nicely with that little blue tuft on his head. What even is that? A demon's head? A Chaos warrior and his weapons as one. Now this is a very minty looking chap. A minty chap with some orange faces dotted around. I love how he's either grown a blade for a hand or had it replaced. What do you reckon? Was it grown or replaced? Now, why would anyone ever willingly want to replace one of their limbs with a weapon? I don't know why you'd want to lose your hand and have a knife blade there instead, when you could just hold the knife and let go of it when you want to do something else. But then again, maybe him losing the limb wasn't intentional. I didn't think of that. Red focal points for a ferocious Chaos warrior. Now, the Grim Reaper shows his face on this next miniature, and what a face it is. To me, it looks a little like some sort of Star Trek villain. A proper puppet face, if you will. The face plates on the knees are wonderful, and so is his scythe. Brilliant. A Fleshhound of Khorne bares its ripping fangs. Watch out, Dennis Nedry. This Fleshhound of Khorne reminds me of the Dilophosaurus from Jurassic Park, or Dilophosaurus. Now, can you remember when Jurassic Park was good? I did love the first movie. I think all the rest sucked, however. I haven't even seen the last two. Are they worth a watch? Anyway, I do like these old Fleshhound sculpts. Skaven with representatives from various clans. Now this might be the very first time we have shown Skaven on the channel, and that's because they exist in Warhammer Fantasy. We don't do too much of that around here, if any at all. Now, do you think Roland Rat was a Skaven? My god, I miss Roland Rat. Yeah! Rat fans! Oh, that's messed my throat up. A Chaos Dwarf Boar Centaur provides motive power for the Whirlwind. Note the cornate armour colours. So apparently this is also called a Whirlwind, but not the Space Marine Whirlwind that we all know and love. It's a Chaos war machine. It's quite an interesting one, as this one spins around cutting and smashing as you push it along, I think. The best bit is the green face on the shield there. Brilliant. Now, I'm not sure how that Whirlwind device would ever be able to hit you unless A, you were super glued to the floor and it came along and whacked you and smashed you, or B, maybe the bull centaur chap can push it around really fast, and I mean very fast. Imagine how quick you'd have to maneuver that around the field to smash people's brains out. A Khornate champion displays his might. Is this the guy they call Slambo? For some reason I thought Slambo was a Hero Quest character. I never owned Hero Quest, so I have no idea where I got that idea from. There is a new version of this sculpt out nowadays that I think is also called Slambo. He is very red, but then again, Khorne groupies usually are. A gladiatorial style Chaos Thug on Hex base. Now this guy, he wants to know where his clothes went. He looks like a man who went out and got a little drunk the night before, but instead of a road cone on his head, he has a Chaos helmet. I'm not sure what he's holding in his left hand. It looks a bit like a metal banana. Excellent facial detail finishes off this Chaos Thug leader. This one looks like a young lady I once met at a Lowestoft nightclub circa 1999. I remember it very well, although I wish I couldn't. Even the pose is the same. The armour on this reminds me of the Slambo guy from before. Maybe it's a recast of that one. The furry collars on those boots are massive. Do you reckon they help to keep you warm? Glory and dishonour bound into the form of a Bloodthirster. This miniature is incredible. I think this might be the very first version of the Bloodthirster. To me, it's quite clearly a Balrog from Lord of the Rings, just changed around a little bit. His head has a miniature version of the Khorne logo with the way the horns are arranged. He has a very thick looking whip and an axe with 1980s blood effects, also known as red paint. The wings are huge, stretching from the floor all the way up above its head. Brilliant. Now, I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one to notice the Bloodthirster Balrog connection. I'm pretty sure there must have been other people in the past that noticed they both look very similar. I don't think this is an official term for very similar. This is jazz hands again, isn't it? It's always the jazz hands. But looking at that, oh, this chair is really shady. But looking at, I must have to put that top of my list to bring a less shady and bangy chair around for the studio. Yeah, so regarding the old they're not golden demons, greater demons. So regarding the old greater demon miniatures, I would like to get some of the original ones for my painting project. So I think they'd be fun to paint. Little and metal and exciting rather than big and gaudy and plastic. Green washed chaos armour. So here we have a gentleman that can't see. There's no eye holes in that helmet. Maybe he's controlled by a group of kids like in Nightmare. Who remembers that incredible TV show from back in the day? Word on the street was they filmed it in Norwich, and that's where I live. He's holding a mace and what appears to be a bell. Ding-a-ling-a-ling. Shame, shame. Not seen that before. The Beastman's pale green skin is offset by the brilliant red shield. So apparently again this is a Beastman. Grease. There's a few pale green Beastmen in here today. The face of this one looks more like some sort of demon from a 1980s kung fu movie, which is not a bad thing. He's holding the shortest trident I've ever seen, a very glossy shield and the best leopard skin loincloth in the world. It's so good, in fact, I think I might make my own. Chaos Thugs in any colour you like. So here we have a bunch of what at first I thought were zombies, but it turns out they're Chaos Thugs, not cultists, but thugs. To me, they look like conversions or maybe some sort of kit bashers, but I'm no expert on Oldhammer fantasy miniatures. Check out Mr. Stoopy on the left. Excellent. When it comes to the guy at the front, I presume the leader, I can't tell if he's actually green-skinned like the Incredible Hulk or just wearing green body paint. Any suggestions? Now, I don't know if you've noticed here, but I have this cart door ice cream tub. It's lighting up quite well in that light. There's a little bit of water in there, so I have to be very careful I don't spill it. But, interestingly, on the flavour logo here, you can see it says, if you're enjoying this video, then please consider liking it and subscribing to the channel. That means you, Carl. If you are enjoying the content here on the channel, then please consider joining the Patreon, the link to which is in the description below. Is in the description below or up here somewhere. You can even join the YouTube channel with the join button, which is a very popular choice for experts out there. Not that I'm an expert. Dramatic poses. Chaos sorcerer with jester familiar. Here we have one of the greatest Warhammer sculpts ever, the Familiar. Familiars are bloody brilliant and provide such wonderful character to the game. I'm glad they sort of seem to be making a comeback nowadays. There's Gene Stealer Familiars, Little Squigs, Huron Blackhearts, Little Alien Dog, and all that sort of thing, and it's excellent. The Sorcerer, well, he seems to have a pair of Granny's curtains for legs, or wearing some sort of nice fabric trousers over what must be super skinny legs. I'm not sure what's going on there. Alright, so looking at those old Chaos miniatures, which do you think was the best one? I myself am probably going to go with that Bloodthirster, because I like the idea of painting an old golden demon, here we go again, an old greater demon. I also quite like Mr. Puppet? Mr. Sorcerer, that's it, with his familiar. Probably because he has those nice crepe paper looking trousers. To be honest, I haven't seen crepe paper since my days at school in the 80s. Is crepe paper still even a thing? Anyway, if you want to see some more OldHammer videos, and I know you do, then check out the playlist up here somewhere. As always, thank you very much for watching, and always remember to drill your barrels. That's enough of that, I think.